and welcome to my channel. So today we're going to be playing with some more paint pens. I know these look a little similar to the first ones I had on my channel, I suppose, because I played with those TikTok paint pens. They are double-sided, the other ones. These ones are not. They have been used. These are not mine, actually. These are my best friend's. He recommended on my last video to do mini canvases with paint pens. He specifically said Poscas, but then I was talking to him in person, and I was telling him, I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna get the detail or the color range with Poscas on teeny tiny canvases. And I was disclosing, like, I know I've done mini canvases like these with paint pens, but it was your paint pens, and I can get more detail, and you have a higher color range with yours than I do with mine. And he's like, oh, we'll just use mine. So that's what we're doing. These were a gift to him from his mom, so we don't know where they came from. He knows that she bought them online, but that's it. They don't really have, well, okay, I guess Guangna might be the brand name, but they just say acrylic painter, rich colors, and finer brush tip. And these things are great. I've played with these before. I really like them. With that being said, we went on a little park adventure. I like to go exploring in nature, as I think I've mentioned on my channel before. So I'm gonna try and do 3. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I dragged him along on a little park adventure. I'm gonna throw you under the bus here, Scotty. He slipped in the mud, and it was hilarious. I wish I caught that on video. But I got a bunch of good reference photos. I picked 3 to do in this medium with this size. These are just mini canvas panels from Walmart. They come in, I think, a pack of 3 or a pack of 4. I already had them open. But we're gonna jump into it. Let's jump to this one now that we've kind of cleaned the brush tip. These are really fun. They're not super opaque, but they're opaque enough. And with the brush tip, I feel like I can get more detail than with the Posca pens. Don't get me wrong, I'm not bashing Posca pens, but I am on the hunt for a better paint marker. So you will be seeing plenty of paint markers on this channel coming up here in the future. I have a bunch of mediums on stock at the moment that I haven't reviewed on this channel. Included is a gift from said friend that I'm borrowing these from, so I would like to jump into that on this channel soon. So I'm probably not going to be buying a whole bunch of stuff coming up for a little while because I have accumulated plenty, but we will be seeing some reviews even with that being said, because I do have some stuff on stockpile that I've accumulated, whether that be thrifting and I had to grab it before it was gone, or sale items or gifts. So I do have some stuff kind of in the queue that you guys can look forward to, as well as just using supplies that I already have, because I've accumulated quite a collection before I even started this channel. And as you guys have seen, if you've watched some or all of my past videos, I've played with plenty of materials, some of which I have bought for this channel, like the craft kits and things. So something that I am noticing as well is that these tips kind of fray. So it's something to keep in mind. But like I was saying, like with the craft kits and things, I have accumulated some more supplies since starting this channel, specifically for this channel, but also just because they're fun to play with. And that's kind of why I started this channel originally, was for one, to kind of put that pressure on myself to make a piece of art every week. I do work full-time, so forcing myself to make something every day, especially when you include the editing and everything, is kind of a lot. Trying to make myself do a piece of art every week and expanding not necessarily my collection, but what mediums I've played with, and getting better with the ones that I haven't messed around with much before or ever. For instance, the oil pastel video with the bridge, which, by the way, I am starting to name some of my completed artworks, so I'm calling that one Reflections. But I hadn't played with oil pastels since almost high school. I haven't done a completed piece with oil pastels since high school. I've played around with them, but not done like an actual artwork, just more like doodles or something that I set aside and never finished, and then when I moved I just got rid of it, kind of situations. So like with all of that being considered, I think I have gotten a lot better, just kind of forcing myself into it and doing the weirder bits at a time. And I did have a play with them in that, like, I tried to do something else for that video originally and it just didn't really make the cut, and I did mention that, I believe, in the video. With that kind of being said, I feel like, especially with the oil pastels, I have gotten better, and that's kind of what this channel is about for me, or at least initially, was to expand myself artistically and to gather a following to share that you don't need to do crazy things or buy crazy supplies to be good at art, that you can make good art with cheap stuff or completely free stuff even sometimes. So I kind of just wanted to break that stigma primarily on art, that it's not this super you have to be rich to do it, or if you do it you're a loser because you put all your money into it. I love making art supplies, or I love making art with cheaper supplies. I like my finer supplies too, don't get me wrong. But even in the video, if you remember the craft kit video with the Crayola spin thing, and I just played with the inks a little bit. I played with my own inks and I tested out some stuff, and then I made something with that the kit wasn't intended for, but it was fun. I think there is a huge stigma on art, and I think that needs to be talked about more, in all honesty, because I don't think you need to be rich to do art. I don't think doing art as a hobby versus doing it for a career should be such a huge topic. Like the whole starving artist thing, I think, for one, is kind of outdated, simply for the fact that with the force of social media, and the world is not what it used to be at all, by any means. Like a weird line on this. Oh no! I just noticed this. I don't know if you can see it on camera or if this is blown out, but there is a seam, like, right down the middle of this. Like, that was where they were supposed to cut it. Like, it's almost perforated. Oh, that is so sad. That is so sad. I've got another one. It's okay. I'll start over. That'll just be my swatch one. So, I think the whole starving artist thing is outdated and really old school. I didn't get on YouTube specifically to make money. If I do, it's cool. I'd be happy about that. I don't have to do, like, you know, your normal 9 to 5. I didn't get on here with the expectation to make money, but I know that there are plenty of people that can. There's a lot of art YouTubers that I follow that are amazing artists, and they do that as their career. And there's many of them with different kinds of art backgrounds, art styles, and all of this, where that is their job. There's people that do art as a job in other ways, like as a career, whether they're online selling stickers and prints, or making logos and stuff for different companies, like these big companies that you don't really think about the fact that a human created that logo, but they did. And it might not be what you think of as art, because it's not like the expressive, having fun creating something from a photo kind of thing, but it is art. And there's gonna be people out there that think me copying a photo in different mediums isn't art either, because there's copy machines and I'm not making it different besides the fact that it's flawed. So art is up to your eye. Everybody's gonna see art as something else. But when it comes down to it, as a title, as a dictionary definition, those jobs are artists. Those are people creating art. Ultimately, I think that there is a huge stigma upon it that is very outdated. But again, it comes down to what you view as art versus an artist, because if somebody makes something that you don't consider art, you're not going to view them as an artist, but it is. Matter of factly, that is art. A web designer is an artist, and that kind of stuff. If somebody uses AI tools, that doesn't mean that they're not an artist. They're using that as a tool. I partly wanted to make my channel to force myself to create and not give myself an out, because the bigger I get, the more people are going to expect a video every week. And even when I started out with like 3 subscribers, my mom would still text me and just be like, no video this week if it's late. I haven't missed a video yet, but I have been late. So if I am just a few hours late, my mom will text me and just be like, where's your video this week? Are you not making one? Why didn't you tell me you're not making one? Yes, Mom, I'm still making one. Just might not be on time. Not to say that that's a bad thing. My mom's really sweet. She's super supportive of this channel, and I really appreciate her. She kind of stays in her own little corner about my channel though, which is fine. It's fine. But she watches them every week, and she texts me and calls me and goes, oh, I really liked that one, or oh, you look like you had a lot of fun doing that. It's like, yeah, Mom, I did have a lot of fun. Or, no, it was fun in the process, and then editing was horrible. So it just kind of depends. But yeah, no, my mom is a huge supporter of my channel, and I'm very lucky for that. That being said, I didn't just like quit my job and go onto YouTube expecting to be making money off of it. I don't think she would be as big of a fan if I had done that. But she's awesome, and so is everybody else that's subscribed to me, no matter. But it did inspire me, so we're gonna try it out. And then I think this one's pretty much done. I don't love the contrast on the background though, so I do think I do want to do the brown instead. I was trying to give it that like muddy color background that it had in the original photo, but I just was not feeling it with the colors. And we can sign our name now. I think I'm just struggling with the color options, which I didn't remember having a problem with, but also normally when I use this at my friend's house, or these at my friend's house, we will mix them with Poscas as well. I think I'm gonna set this aside. I like the idea. I like this sketch. I might do this as like a mini, I think I might do this as a mini acrylic painting, like with actual acrylics. I feel bad. I was gonna do a set of 3 and it turned into 1, hoping to do at least 2, but it just didn't work out that way. Sometimes it's like that. So this is what we ended up with. And this is an attempt that has potential for a different video or just off video me drawing. But if you like my art and you like my channel, hopefully you like both. Please feel free to like and subscribe, and catch me again on next week's video. Don't forget to stay artsy.